Part 7, percentage increase and decrease, finding the percentage. In the previous part, we were doing percentage increase and decrease and finding the amount. Now we are going to find the percentage. You will find this on page 135 in the Namibian Mathematics Grade 8 textbook, y equals mx plus c to success. Before I'm going to go through this page, I'm first going to take you back to the table. Just go back to the table. Okay, can you remember this table? We were doing first expressing one quantity as a percentage of another. This was the first kind of percentage sums. Then we came to the second part, finding a percentage of a quantity. So what I sometimes like to say, I say this is making a percentage and this is using a percentage. So finding the percentage of a quantity. Then we did the third part, percentage increase and decrease, finding the amount. This is what we did in the previous part. So if I'm saying to you, increase 20 kilogram by 15%, that I just first work out what is 15% and then I add it up. Now, did you see that I was placing this one underneath too? Because we were also using a percentage to work out first 15% of 20 kilogram. Okay. Now, I want to show you that the one we are going to do in this part, number 4, is the reverse of number 3. Okay. So, remember, increase 20 kilogram by 15%. And that was an answer of 23 kilogram. But if I put this sum into reverse, I will say something like this. Levi's mass increased from 20 kilogram to 23 kilogram. From 20 to 23. And then I'm asking you, find the percentage increase in his mass. So I want you to find that 15%. So first, we're going to find the difference in his mass. So the change. So I'm going to say 23 minus 20, and that will give me a difference of 3 kilogram. And now I placed it underneath making a percentage because now I'm going to make this a percentage. I'm going to say 3 over. And now always put this one over the original, the one they mentioned first. They mentioned first 20 kilogram and that's why I put it over 20. And then how do I make a percentage? I just multiply by 100 and that will give me 15%. There I come to that 15%. So very important. We're going to look further into this, but this is how I classify percentage sums. Number 1 is expressing one quantity as a percentage of another. 2 is finding a percentage of a quantity. 3 is percentage increase and decrease, finding the amount. And now it's again, this is the reverse of this sum. Percentage increase and decrease, finding the percentage. Okay, let's move to that part. So there was 1, there was 2, and then we just classify. And now maybe we can just call this one, the previous was number 3. Okay, and now we are at the 4th type of percentage sums. Okay, now we can start with that in mind. Percentage increase and decrease, finding the percentage. A number or value often changed by a percentage of its value. For example, a scale is advertised where the price of the goods is reduced by 30%. The amount by which the price drops will depend on the original price. More expensive items will decrease by more than cheaper items. In this same way, a shopkeeper might increase the price of his shop by a certain percentage. For example, 60%, so that he can cover his expenses and make a profit. He makes more profit from expensive items than from cheaper items, even though the percentage is the same. Whether the original amount increase or decrease, there is always a change or difference. If we want to work out what the percentage increase or decrease is, we first need to calculate the difference. Change or difference. You always take the bigger value minus the smaller value. But if you want to work out the percentage increase or decrease, you take that change or difference and you put it over the original value, the value that they mentioned first. And then to make it a percentage, you multiply by 100%. So let's look at an example. The number of learners attending a school increased from 450 to 540. Find the percentage increase. So first work out the change, the difference. I take the big one minus the small one, and that's 90. It was in the previous example. And then I take the percentage increase. I take 90 and I put it over the original one, the one they mentioned first. So for 450. And then to make it a percentage, I multiply by 100%. And that will give me an increase of 20%. That was the previous sum. A shopkeeper reduced the price of a clock that is slightly damaged from 250 to 150. So this is now a decrease, not an increase. What is the percentage reduction? Again, find your difference. Big one minus small one, that's 100. And then if you want to find the percentage increase or decrease, then basically you're just going to say 100, that difference, and you put it over the original one. What is the original one? 250. And then you multiply it by 100 and you will come to an answer of 40%. And then remember, the denominator is always the original, always the one they mentioned first. Okay, now I want you to stop the video and I want you to try now, I think do number A and number B. And as soon as you are finished, you can continue with the video. Okay, this was try now 9. Okay, let's start with number A. Joy's mass decreased from 80 to 72. Find the percentage decrease. Okay, so first we're going to find the change, or we can call it the difference. And that's just the big one minus the small one. So that's a difference of 8. And then if I want to find the percentage decrease, a decrease, I'm just going to take the 8 and put it over the original one. The original one will always be the one they mentioned first, and that was the 80. And then to make it a percentage, I just multiply by 100%. And that will give me an answer of 10%. And then if I look at number B, in 2001, the population of Namibia was 1830330, and in 2011, it increased to 2113077. Find the percentage increase, correct to 1 decimal place. So first, we must also find the change. We unput or difference. You don't have to write both. And that will be, it's a big number, 2113077, and you subtract 1830330, and you come to an answer of 282,747. So it increased by that amount. But I want to find the percentage increase. And that will now be this 282,747. And I put it over the original one, the one they mentioned first. And that was that one. So it was 1830330. And to make it a percentage, I multiply by 100%. And my answer to 1 decimal place will be 15.4. So the population of Namibia from the year 2001 to 2011 increased by 15.4%. And you can end up with a nice sentence.